the 60s. With Omaha's most accurate forecast, I'm 6 News First Alert meteorologist Mallory Schnell on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Schrock Innovations presents the Midwest's #1 independent computer repair company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, and across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This.
Good morning, folks, and welcome into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with 3 locations, and this will become very important to know as we go through the show here today. In Lincoln, we are just 2 blocks south of Pine Lake on 14th Street. In Omaha, we're at 168th and Burke. That is just across the street from the Village Point Mall. And in Papillion, our service center there is off the corner of 84th and Highway 370. We are basically right across the street from Ollie and Hobbs there, if you're familiar with that, or right behind Cole's Pharmacy. You might be more familiar with that, too. Also, new location is coming this fall to Des Moines, which is pretty exciting. We're pretty stoked about that. In fact, during the After Schrock, we're going to tell you about the very first on-site computer delivery we're doing in Des Moines. We got all the way through a computer purchase and we got to the end and she goes, "Wait, you're not in Des Moines?" We're like, "Well, not till the fall." She goes, "Well, I don't want to wait that long." So we're like, "Well, we're going to be going over there for some kind of thing." There's all kinds of trips that have been postponed or set aside for, meetings and things like that. So I am sure we'll have somebody coming in that direction that we can bring the computer out to your house and get it dropped off for you. So it turned this kind of organically turned into our first drop off. It was pretty cool. So that location is coming this fall. But the reason the locations are important is last week I mentioned I wanted to get your input on during the aftershock on what kind of a sale we should run. We wanted to do something to celebrate the beginning of the reopening of Nebraska's economy. Now, and this is really delicate because there are a lot of people that don't feel that anything should be opening right now. There are people who are immunocompromised or who have who are medically delicate in a situation that they're not going to go out no matter what's going on, and they don't appreciate other people going out. On the other hand, you've got people who have been cooped up for a month and they're like, "Listen, I think I've already had this, or I know I've already had this, or I can't stay in my house anymore." You have those people on the other side who are like, "Please let me go out and do something." And in the midst of this, of course, you have all the business owners. And the business owners are trying to find a way to scrape along or get by to keep their businesses intact and to keep their people together. Because right now, let me give you an example. We're trying to hire actually right now. We are trying to hire a qualified senior technician in Omaha. So there's a plenty large population base of people to choose from. There's plenty of talented people. Many of these talented people have been furloughed or laid off right now. And we have 3 applicants in 2 weeks. Why is that, you think? Well, why would you apply for a job right now? Yeah, you get more money sitting at home. And that's not a joke, guys. You get $600 a week from the feds on top of whatever the state of Nebraska eventually gets around to paying you. So, wow, that's, $1,700 a paycheck that you're just going to get, and you don't have to work. Now, that only goes through July, but as you can see, that's going to complicate things going forward. So the idea here of starting, we're not going to go back to normal on Monday, and we know that at Schrock. But this is the start of getting back to normal, and it's incredibly exciting for a lot of people. So we wanted to do something that would kind of, kick off this event, kick off this celebration in Nebraska that, we're not going to be completely decimated by this thing. We're going to get back to some degree of normal at some point, and we have to take that first step in that direction. And we wanted to do that at Schrock Innovation. So what we decided to do was crazy. It is absolutely insane. It's stupid. I don't know why we're doing it. It doesn't make sense financially, and it doesn't make sense logistically, but we're going to do it. We have no idea what's going to happen, but if the indication, okay, maybe I should start by telling you what we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is we are putting preventative maintenance checkups on sale for free. They're free. You just bring your computer in, we do a maintenance checkup on it. Now, let me address one thing before we get into this. I have had people who have said, "Thor, I just purchased a maintenance certificate and now you're giving them away for free, and I don't appreciate that." And I totally understand that, but let me explain to you how these 2 services are different. The free maintenance checkup is a 1-day only event on May 4th. We did open it up a little bit early for Schrock customers because a lot of people didn't have maintenance certificates, or people who did missed their service windows. They didn't feel comfortable going out. So we opened this, those certificates expired. And so we opened up this window for a free checkup so those people who would have an opportunity to get their computers maintenance. And honestly, we said, let's open it up a few days early to allow Schrock customers to come in before Monday if they wanted to, so that way we could kind of work through the rush a little bit. Now, we started talking about this to Schrock customers on Thursday-ish, and immediately we got a hit. So we have been working full overtime hours in all 3 service centers, and let me tell you how that pans out. The Lincoln Service Center was upgraded to have additional bench spots. Thank goodness we did that. They're in a small queue with 54 computers on the bench. The Omaha Service Center is by far the service center being hit worse by this. They have 40 bench spots. They have 96 computers in there right now. The Papillion Service Center has like 16 bench spots. They're using every flat surface in the service center right now to do some kind of maintenance work on computers. They have 46 computers in there right now. That's just from Schrock customers who we said, hey, you might want to come in and beat the rush. This is the people beating the rush. So for those of you who bought maintenance certificates, please keep in mind, you can use those anytime you want going forward. So if you do decide to come in for the free special, we'll extend the certificate for you. We'll make it good for another 6 months because we don't want anyone to feel like, they came out and helped us out when we were asking for help, and then all of a sudden we turned around and gave it away for free. We don't want to have anybody walk away with a bad taste in their mouth. However, please keep in mind that this is not the turnaround times you're used to. If you come in on Monday and drop your computer off, it will likely be 3 to 7 days before you see it again, before you even hear from us. It's going to sit. And no, you can't call us and say, hey, can I bring it in on Thursday and hold my place in line? Logistically, we just can't do that. There's just too many computers. We can't keep track of who's where. We need to line them up in a row and knock them out. So I'll be working in the service center. Everyone else will be working in the service center. Of course, we are observing social distancing, which inside the service center itself is not that big of a deal for us. The Omaha Service Center is 2,500 square feet. We typically have 3 people working a shift. It's not a meatpacking plant. It's not hard to stay apart, especially with the Schrock Interactive team working from home. It's not hard to stay apart. In the service centers, actually, we are having our own custom masks made for us, so that they're not just a fabric cloth. They're actually going to do some filtration, because some of the masks that people are wearing, it's not helping anyone out. It's just making everybody feel better. So I didn't want to just have my guys tie a handkerchief around their face and hopefully make everybody feel better. So we're actually having masks made that will actually do something for you and for us. We are observing social distancing inside the service center as well. There are markings on the floor so that you know exactly. You guys know the drill. If you've been to Lowe's or Home Depot by now, you know the drill. Hopefully we don't have to pen people outside the door. I really don't like that. But obviously we can't have more than 10 customers in the service center. Not that you can't socially distance 10 people inside one of our service centers. They're not that big in the customer area. So here's on Monday, this is going to be crazy. So if you are planning on coming out on Monday to drop off your computer for the free maintenance checkup, you are welcome. We love to have you. We will move through these as fast as we can. We are working morning, noon, night. The other day Thursday night, at 7:50, a customer calls the Omaha Service Center, and I answered the phone because Brian was busy. And the customer literally asked me, what are you doing working so late tonight? You own the place. What are you doing working so late? I'm like, we have more computers than God. We need to get these out of here. We need to get caught up so that when the real rush hits us on Monday, we can get these things out the door. And so with the maintenance checkup taking up to 8 hours, a lot of the people who came in for the free one early are people who we have not seen for maintenance in years. And so as a result, their maintenance checkups are taking a little bit longer because they're not regulars. They don't always come in every 6 months. So it's not just tweaking and tuning and fine tuning. It's your computer has this wrong. Lots of solid state hard drives that are running slower. People came in 2 years ago for the special, got the solid state upgrade. Now their computer is running slower than it had, than it was supposed to be because the solid state was slowing down. But they all have warranties, right? So we all replaced them under warranty on their modular computers, and they're good to go. So a lot of people getting a lot of service. We've ordered extra hard drives and things like that to make sure that when we're doing the checkup, we have all the parts we need to fix everything. But this is the first time in 21 plus years of Schrock history that we have ever given the maintenance checkup away for free. The lowest we've ever gone before was $9.99. And the colloquialism at Schrock was we need to keep the riffraff out. So we got to charge at least $10 because if you give it away for free, you see some crazy stuff. This was like 15 years ago. So we had Tandies coming in. You know, what's a Tandy? That's a computer older than you, Emily. No, I mean, that's the equivalent. The modern equivalent would be if we're running a maintenance special, we would see first generation Windows XP computers coming in or Windows 98 computers coming in. And obviously it doesn't do us any good to maintenance those computers because you can't safely use them. You can't even safely maintain them. The tools to run the maintenance don't even work on those computers anymore. So here's the deal. If you're going to bring your computer in, the only thing that we ask is that it be Windows 10 or Mac OS, because yes, we can do this on a Mac. So Windows 10 or Mac OS, those are the only two requirements. If they're not Windows 10, we won't do the maintenance on it. We just can't. If it's Windows Vista, it's too old. The tools don't run. If it's Windows XP, it's too old. The tools don't run. And of course, there are really, really old Macs. So I say Mac OS. I don't want to get people like, do I have Mac OS 10.7 or 10.3 or 9.5? If it's Mac OS, we'll figure it out. Okay. But if it's Windows, you want to make sure it's Windows 10. If you're not sure, you can bring it in anyway, and then we'll check it out. And if it's not Windows 10, we even have some solutions. We can get you up to Windows 10. But the long and the short of it is on Monday, big celebration at Schrock to celebrate the grand reopening of Nebraska's economy. We're kicking it off with free maintenance checkups. So let's get everybody back to normal. Let's get your quarantine companion maintenanced because you've been leaning on it for a month and a half now. It's time to give it a little love, make sure everything is working well with it, and get it all cleaned up and working right. Now, I'm also fully aware that many of you are not so happy with your quarantine companions. Yes, some of you didn't feel your quarantine companions held up really well. This might be what happens when you say, I do everything from an iPad, and then suddenly realize you can't do everything from an iPad. Yeah, it's rough. And you dust off that old computer in the basement, brush the dust off of it, fire it up. Oh, it needs an update. Let's update it. Oh, it needs an antivirus. Get an antivirus. Oh, everything else is out of date. We get that done. The hard drive's bad. Oh, come on. You know, what's going on here? It occurred to me that some of you might want, number one, something you can take advantage of from home. I have had customers ask, can we go on the website and get a certificate for the free maintenance to use it later? No, you can't. This is a one-day event. This is going to be 1 day and it's going to be done because obviously you do the math on this. I mean, I won't even tell you what the number of computers we completed yesterday, but 54 plus 96, right? So that's 150 plus what's in Papillion? Come on, scroll down. 46 more. So 196 computers and a maintenance checkup costs $90. So if we do the quick math here, 100, let me get the calculator out. There's the calculator. 156, I said, times $90. This is $14,000 of free maintenance right now. We expect at least that much coming in on Monday because it's not just on Compute This. You're hearing about this. It's not just on Facebook. We're running ads on just about every radio station in Omaha and Lincoln to advertise this. It's a freebie. So it's going to be busy. It's going to be fun. We're going to keep it light. We're going to keep everybody as safe as we can. We don't want a big crowd outside the service center. We're going to string it out throughout the day. But here's the thing. If you're hearing about this for the first time right now, you might consider bringing your computer in today. Because you are a listener of Compute This, you're probably a Schrock customer already. If you're not, you've been thinking about it for a while. You know what? You can come in today. We're open on Saturday from 10 to 8, Sunday from noon to 5. You can come in, you can drop off the computer and get it in before the rush on Monday. That way you don't have to come out to the service center with all the crowds, okay? I totally understand that there are people who are concerned about that. Bring it in today. We're trying to be as accommodating as possible as we give away something for free. I have had a couple people send me emails. One person was upset that they got a robocall about it. We did call all of our customers who haven't had maintenance in years. So if you didn't get the robocall, it's because you're doing what you're supposed to do. So we called the people. One guy was upset and literally told me he sent me like 4 or 5 paragraphs in Facebook Messenger about how he doesn't have time to deal with this, or he doesn't have time to deal with calls coming to his phone. from an unknown number. And I'm like, well, and I respond to everything. So if I'm going to send you a call or send you an email and you're going to take the time to say something back to me, I'll respond. The gentleman's name, it wasn't Bill Smith, but it was pretty much Bill Smith. It was a very generic name. So I look him up in our system because I'm like, obviously this person was a customer before. That's why he got contacted, doesn't want to be contacted. So I look him up in the system, but it's Bill Smith. You're going to find like a million Bill Smiths. That's not his real name, by the way. For all you William Smiths out there, I'm not talking about you. So, wow, what do you do? I'm like, so I sent him a message back, like, unfortunately, your name is I don't want to say quite generic, backspace, very common. So I can't just find you based on your name. So if you could let me know your phone number and I will make sure you don't receive any more, calls, communications, emails, things like that. If you don't want them, we don't want to send them to people who don't want to get them. We don't like that. You don't like that. Let's just fix this problem. Right. And he never responded back because apparently he didn't have time after the first 4 paragraphs. But we have had some people, the overwhelming reaction on Facebook has been positive and has been appreciative. We have had a few sad cry faces, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're doing this. Totally get that. If this is not the time for you to leave your house, don't leave your house. I don't want to pull someone out of their home, entice them out into the Nebraska wilderness with a special offer that is going to happen one day and then it's going to be gone. So like I said, you can come in a little bit early if you want to, but there are some people who aren't going to want to leave their house at this point. And I totally understand that. There are also people who are ready to chuck their teen companion out the window because it's a piece of junk and they just never realized they would need something better than that. So we have one other little tidbit that we haven't really talked about. Didn't mention any of this in the robocalls or the emails or nothing else. Right now at SchrockInnovations.com, there are 5 of each of these available under specials. If you go to SchrockInnovations.com, go to shop and specials, and you'll find 5 holiday special desktops and 5 holiday special laptops available for purchase. We never, ever, ever in 21 years sell the holiday special outside of the holiday season. Ever. We are doing this in there's 5 and then they're gone. But it's a very limited quantity. If you want a new computer and you missed the holiday special and because you didn't think you really needed one at the time, and now the world obviously has changed and you think you might need something a little bit better than what you've got at home now, there are 5 of each available on the website at SchrockInnovations.com. All the parts are already coming for these, so it's not going to be like the 30-day wait thing like you do normally with the holiday special. And we have 3 of the laptops in stock right now. Please, I don't know. I know we have them in the building. I don't know that we've actually unboxed them and programmed them and got them ready for you yet because, they've got a lot of computers in there right now. So I'm going to check on that after the show today. I'm going to go to the Billion Shop and take a look at the warehouse situation and see what's going on there. But if you're interested in the new computers, those are available on our website, SchrockInnovations.com. We do have contactless pickup and drop off. So if you want to buy a computer, we can drop it off your home for you. We can put it on your porch, ring your bell, and walk away. If you want to bring your computer in for the free checkup, we have contactless pickup from the parking lot. You can pull up in front of the store, give us a call in the store. We will come out and remove the computer from your vehicle. So you don't even have to get out of your car. So if you put it in the trunk of the car, we'll come out and grab it and go right in. We can check you in through the window. You don't have to sign anything. We'll get you all taken care of. So those are the big news things for the day so far on the show. We're going to talk more about that as we go on. If you have questions, feel free to give us a call as well. 888-250-2091. We'll be giving away a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate to one lucky caller. Coming up on the program today, Windows 10, Microsoft has fixed one last update in what they are now calling the update. Expect this to happen very soon. Also, what impact has the coronavirus had on our health habits? And how do Americans stack up against other countries in quarantine? How many steps are we taking? How much weight have we gained? We wear fitness trackers that measure all this stuff, guys. Now they have aggregate data. They can see like who's eating the Doritos and who's not. Also, Apple is launching their new version of iOS 13.5. It's beta right now, but it's going to have contact tracing features in it. It's going to monitor all the other phones that you get close to and keep a record of that. So if one of those phones tests positive, you can be alerted that you might have been exposed to coronavirus. So I have one big question for you. Are you okay with your phone doing that? It looks like there's a slider switch. You can turn it on or off. My guess is it's going to be defaulted to on. So how do you feel about that? We want to get your feedback there. 888-250-2091. More of the program coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations Data Recovery Lab saves the data the other guys can't. The next time your hard drive, camera card, or flash drive fails, let Schrock get your data back. Every person listening to this broadcast either experienced data loss or knows someone who has. When you think about it, you have a lot more data stored in many more places than you'd like to admit. Have you downloaded those videos from your phone, backed up the pictures on your iPad, or even tackled that sometimes daunting task of backing up your entire computer's hard drive? Most people just don't back up their stuff, and that's why Schrock Innovations has one of the most advanced data recovery centers in the Midwest. Equipped with the latest DDI data imaging devices, state-of-the-art custom recovery software, and Omaha's best data recovery technicians, Schrock Innovations has a 96.8% success rate when recovering data from damaged hard drives, flash drives, camera cards, and more. We all know we should back up our data, but if you are ever caught in a data loss nightmare, call the experts at Schrock Innovations to get your data back right where it belongs, safe and backed up on a stable hard drive. Compute This Pro Tip 843. Of all computer failures, the scariest and most expensive is the hard drive. But there are some steps you can take to save money and save your data before it's too late. Detecting failures early is important, so install a free utility like Drive Advisor from driveadvisor.com to monitor your hard drive's health and receive warnings when there's a problem. But most of all, hard drive failures happen slowly, so early detection is key to reducing the repair bill. Second, if your hard drive makes any unusual noise, immediately turn off your computer and do not turn it on again. These issues are physical problems, and the more you try, the worse the damage becomes. Remember, computer repair shops do not have the specialized equipment needed to recover data from a failed drive. Never open your drive or allow anyone else to do so. Open drives always cost more to recover. Schrock does not charge for data recovery evaluations and quotes, so let the local pros look at your drive before you make any recovery decisions. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. You can watch the show live on Facebook right now at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. Someone has reported to me that the audio might be a little poppy again. We had this problem last week, and this is Facebook's new live video composer. I don't know what's going on or why they're having issues with it, but if the audio is manageable, you can always listen on the terrestrial side. If the audio persists in being problematic, we will do the same thing we did last week with the aftershock, where I will do the aftershock. I recorded it and then I uploaded it so you can watch it. So if we have to do that, the aftershock will be delayed by about a half an hour because I have to do it and then upload it. But then I'll watch it with you and I can comment back to you. It's almost nicer because I can actually like interact with everybody who's watching as without actually having to do it in real time. So it works out. All right. Number to join us on the program, 888-250-2091. Wanted to make a quick mention in the first segment there. I mentioned something about customers that were coming in with solid state hard drives that were running slower. We're getting them replaced under warranty. First of all, if you have us put a solid state hard drive in your computer, it's obviously covered by a 1-year hardware warranty. So we guarantee that the hardware is going to work perfectly for a year. The thing with solid state hard drives is they make your computer 10 times faster. They can save you a bunch of money because you don't have to buy a new computer. Instead, you can just upgrade the hard drive and take an older computer and make it, ridiculously fast, which is amazing. So you can do all these things, which is great. But these hard drives don't work at the same level continuously. So they have a lifespan to them. They're going to last, anywhere from 2 to 5 years before they start degrading. And when they degrade, they slow down. So they still work. They'll still test at 100%. They still are technically not defective. They're just not running at the same speed. So to give you an example, in the service center, we'll have a new solid state hard drive goes into a computer and it's running at like 14,000 megabytes a second. Just cooking. That's blazing fast. Then, I had 2 computers in the in the Omaha Service Center on Thursday where the hard drives were running at 250 megabytes a second. So obviously that is slower than a mechanical hard drive, which means your computer is going to run slower. So if you have a solid state hard drive and your computer has slowed down, it's possible that either your solid state hard drive is running slower or has hit that age where it's time to replace it. Now, the manufacturers of the hard drives don't call that a bad hard drive. They won't replace the hard drive under warranty because technically it still works. At Schrock, we don't play that game. If we detect that it's running slow in a regular maintenance check, like what we're doing for free, and it's a slow hard drive, we just replace it. Especially if you have a warranty, we just replace it. We literally call you back and say, hey, your maintenance checkup went great. By the way, your hard drive was running at a stupid slow speed. You probably noticed the computer slowing down, which is probably why you brought it in for maintenance. Or the fact that it's free, could have been either one. Or we just replaced it for you. It's done. There you go. Enjoy the super fast computer. And then we send the hard drive back to the manufacturer saying it's too slow. And they don't give us the same grief that they give you guys when you try to send stuff back. So it's pretty slick. So it works out nicely. Those extended warranties, that you can cover your entire modular computer with one of those warranties. Modular computers or solid state laptops. If you bought your computer from Schrock, we can protect it with an extended warranty. It's $125 to add that warranty to your computer. And we can do that after we do the maintenance check. So I'd encourage you, after we're done with the maintenance check, if it's a Schrock build, get that warranty, because those people that had the hard drives fail, it just saved them $300. And if you don't use the warranty, we refund it to you at the end of the warranty period. We call you, we give you your money back. You get a credit on account, like a Schrock gift card, and you can spend it for anything you want. You can spend it on a new warranty, which is what a lot of people do. They just flip it. You can spend it on endpoint, secure updater, a maintenance checkup, Schrock safe upgrade. You can spend it on anything you want. 888-250-2091. All right, so Microsoft pushes out these new updates every 6 months for Windows 10. These updates are there. Well, I shouldn't call them updates. I should call them upgrades. This is the digital equivalent from taking your computer and going from Windows XP to Windows 10. It's a whole new operating system that picks up all of your data and your programs and puts it in a safe place to store it, and then erases the hard drive and then puts a new copy of Windows in and then grabs all of your stuff and brings it back over, which works great as long as nothing goes wrong. Unfortunately, 20% of the time something goes wrong. With Microsoft doing this twice a year, that's why we created Schrock Safe Upgrade. As many of you have already done, you've already purchased your copies of Schrock Safe Upgrade so that your computer will be safely upgraded when this update comes out. The update was supposed to come out in April. Microsoft did do one last important fix. They found another bug. Surprise. And so they fixed that bug. Now they said this is they've released the beta preview. So we suspect it's going to sit out there and bake for at least a week, and then they're going to release this. So my suggestion would be, if you haven't already purchased your Schrock Safe Upgrade, pop over to SchrockInnovations.com, click on Shop and Specials. You want to get a copy for each computer that you want to upgrade safely, so you don't end up losing all your data, or having a computer that won't restart, or end up with an unexpected $200 repair bill because the computer just doesn't work after the free Microsoft update screwed it up. So it's only going to happen to about 20% of people, but this particular update is a very large one. The last one was kind of smaller. This is a real big one, so it's important to make sure that you stay safe with that. 888-250-2091. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break here, guys, but stick with us, because when we come back, this is really intriguing stuff. The effect of coronavirus on the health and the weight and the sleeping habits of Americans compared to people in other countries. How are Americans stacking up against people, say, in Germany or the UK? Are we getting fatter? Are we sleeping less? Are we stressing more? All the health tracker apps have concrete data that they can share with us to give us some insight into how you're doing in quarantine. We're going to tell you all about it coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations repair technicians also make house calls. Make an appointment and let us bring our award-winning computer support right to your home or business.
Welcome to Schrock Innovations. How can I help you today?
I'm having a problem with my computer.
You're at the right place. We fix problems with computers.
That's why I'm here.
What seems to be the problem with your computer?
When I press the power button, it doesn't boot up. How fast can you fix it?
We're the fastest computer fixer in Omaha. We'll fix it fast.
How fast?
Real fast. Do you have it plugged in when you turn it on?
Of course it was plugged in. Do people make that mistake a lot?
You'd be surprised. When you press the power button, what happens?
It roars, then stops, and sits.
Ooh, like a lion?
Like a what? Well, I suppose.
Sounds like a bad power supply, sir.
Is that bad?
It's not good, but we can fix it fast.
How fast?
How's that for fast?
Does it work?
Yes, sir. More purring, less roaring now.
Wow, that was fast.
Schrock Innovations is the fastest computer repair in Omaha, sir.
That's great, but all this talking is making me hungry. You guys sell sandwiches?
We do fast computer repair. If you want a fast sandwich, you have to go someplace else. Why would we sell sandwiches?
I don't know. All this fast talking is strangely familiar.
Schrock Innovations. If you want a fast sandwich, don't go there. But if you want your computer fixed and back on your desk fast, give them a call or visit their website at SchrockInnovations.com. Compute This Pro Tip 578. Technology is constantly changing, so how can you tell when the time has come to recycle your old outdated computer and invest in a new one? Experts have rules of thumb and formulas, but Schrock believes the answer is simple. You should replace your old computer when it can no longer do the things you need in a secure way. For example, you should not be using operating systems like Windows XP or Vista because they're no longer maintained by Microsoft and they're not secure. And if your computer cannot run Windows 10, it's probably time to begin saving for a replacement. If your existing computer requires a repair and that cost is 50% or more of the cost of a new computer, it might be time to consider a replacement. But keep in mind, additional costs like data transfers and important software you have to upgrade like genealogy software or Quicken. And also keep in mind that modern computers are engineered to last 18 months for a normal user. And don't worry, you are considered a normal user. Schrock modular PCs and solid-state laptops are specifically designed to last 4 to 6 years for that same normal user, saving your family money and time. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Fox News, I'm Karen McHugh. Former Senate staffer Tara Reid says Joe Biden sexually assaulted her back in 1993. The former VP denies it. Now Reid tells Fox that she's being threatened.
Things have gotten so bad, she says she is now concerned about the safety of her family. In an interview with Fox News, she said, I find it astounding, the hypocrisy that Democrats are talking about women being able to tell their story safely. I'm a Democrat, a lifelong Democrat, but yet here I am trying to talk about my history with Joe Biden, and I'm just the target of online harassment.
Fox's Garrett Tenney. Biden asks that any documents related to the alleged incident be released. Saturday, a federal appeals court declined to block Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear's temporary ban on mass gatherings from applying to in-person religious services. Instead, drive-in services will be held by the Maryville Baptist Church during the COVID crisis. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
We'll see more clouds around this morning with just a few sprinkles possible. Otherwise, those clouds will decrease by midday, allowing for more afternoon sunshine and highs in the mid to upper 70s. As we head into the start of the new week, Monday will be a rainy one with high temperatures in the 60s. With Omaha's most accurate forecast, I'm 6 News First Alert meteorologist Mallory Schnell on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
All righty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. Halftime is over, potty breaks are done, and we got to get back to work. 888-250-2091. Not a single call yet this morning. I'm not ignoring callers, guys. I don't have any right now. So the phones should be working. Yeah, they should be. I see dots. That doesn't mean they're all on hold, right? No. Okay, good. So the phones are working, and you can get yourself a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. I see what's really happening here, though. We're giving away maintenance checkups for free, so why do you need the $25 certificate? Exactly. All right, 888-250-2091. You know, one of those things that we also ask that people do with their computers, and it's kind of cool because if you haven't done this before, you can get a free trial of Secure Updater. Secure Updater is a program that we make at Schrock Innovations, and it silently and securely updates all of your third-party software on the computer. So if you have Java, Flash, Skype, Adobe Reader, all these programs that we all have on our computers, you don't realize there's about 12 updates a week that you have to do to keep them updated. So what we do over at Schrock is we make Secure Updater, and then when one of these updates comes out, we send the update out, and your computer automatically pulls it down, installs it, and your computer's good to go. That way, when you see a pop-up that says, hey, it's time for your latest Flash update, you know that it's fake because the pop-ups are so convincing. They look real. You know it's fake, and you don't have to. You can just trust that if there's an update, Secure Updater's got it, and if there's not an update, that's fake. So there we go. 888-250-2091. You can get a copy of Secure Updater at secureupdater.com. There's a 14-day free trial. We don't ask for a credit card up front. It's not like that, we're going to give you a free trial, then you have to hurry up and cancel. It's not like that. We're going to give you a free trial. It's 14 days for free. You install it on your computer, you try it out, and then after 14 days, if you like what the program has done over the past 2 weeks, then you can make the choice to buy it. It averages out to be about $2.50 a month, guys. So it's a good value, and it's a good companion for any antivirus software. So Secure Updater is not antivirus, but it's a companion that helps your antivirus do its job better, because it keeps the human from purposefully installing viruses. Isn't that amazing? 888-250-2091. All right. So this is kind of interesting. The effects of coronavirus on our health, right? So what is happening with all these people in quarantine? So first of all, this story is broken down. The data from this is pulled from fitness trackers. So basically let me see if I can figure out if it's just one company or all of them. The health device maker Withings has been crunching the numbers, and it seems that things are nowhere near as bad as some media sources have suggested. So here is the actual data from fitness trackers. Now, keep in mind, these are people who wear fitness trackers. This is not the person who doesn't wear a fitness tracker because they're not too concerned about being fit. Okay. So this is how it's impacting people who are aware of their fitness levels. Okay. In the United States, the average person has gained 0.21 pounds in quarantine. I am blowing that curve with my COVID-19, my COVID #19, and put on the COVID-19. You heard about this. You gain a bunch of weight because you're in quarantine eating Doritos like me all day. So anyway, only 37% of people in the United States have gained more than a pound. I'm one of those 37%. In the UK, we're doing really well. In the UK, it's 0.35 pounds. In Germany, it's 0.4 pounds. In China, it's 0.55 pounds gained. In Italy, it's 0.42. The only country that has been measured and has gained less weight than an American is France at 0.19 pounds. So Americans doing pretty good, not eating the whole house. We're doing all right. How about steps? This one's a challenge because you're at home, right? So you're not at work, walking around, going to and from the car, things like that. So it's harder to get your steps in, but we're still walking a lot. In the US, the average daily steps decreased 7%. Now, in the UK, they decreased 8%. The Germans must get out in the forest or something, and, forest people walking around, because their steps actually went up by 1%. The forest people, yes, they must be out in the forest. Look, they gained 0.41 pounds and then they went for a walk. So I don't understand this. In China, the average steps decreased by 56%. Yeah, people in China literally. Well, that's what happens. You're told to stay home in a communist country. You really stay home, and you stay home and you're quiet. Hopefully, no one will bother you. They do note that was a 56% drop in the Hubei province. That's where Wuhan is. The country as a whole, though, has recovered to its usual step level, they said in the article. I don't know why they decided to make that super explained there, just because maybe 56% was such a curve-blowing number. In Italy, the steps decreased by 28%, in France by 27%. How about workouts? Are we working out at home? And if we are working out at home, what workouts are we doing at home? Well, as you might imagine, yoga has gone up by 42%. Because you can pretty much do that laying on a mat. That's my kind of workout. No, I'm just kidding. Yoga is really hard to do, guys. Hiking went up 34%. Thank you, Germany. Indoor cycling increased 19%. The Peloton movement right there. Running has increased by 18%. However, indoor running decreased by 39%. Literally, it seems for some reason, people, given an excuse to get out of the house, even if it's to go run, they will leave the house. Imagine that. They don't want to run inside. Tennis, and then all the sports that require you to be outside. Tennis, down by 66%. Swimming, down by 53%, because most people don't have an indoor pool. Badminton, because, badminton is down by 50%. So all you people in there playing badminton, that's when you put yourself in a glass box and you go, and then there's a ball bouncing off the walls. Yeah. People aren't doing that for some reason. I don't know if it's maybe fear of injury. Oh, wait. I bet most people don't have a giant glass box in their house. That's probably what it is. How about sleep? How are we doing on sleep? Because we've heard the stories about like people having vivid, weird corona dreams and, dreaming about the Rona at night, waking up in a cold sweat. Do I have the Rona? In the US, people are sleeping 12 minutes more per night on average, going to bed 11 minutes later, you bad boys and girls, and getting up 26 minutes later than usual. Lazy Sunday every day. United Kingdom, sleeping 15 minutes. Let's see. They're getting up 25 seconds later than usual. It's because they have a giant clock. In Germany, okay, this is Germany where they're walking a lot. They're sleeping 8 minutes and 27 seconds more per night because they're very precise in Germany. And also they're going to bed almost 11 minutes earlier than usual because they're tired from all the walking. And they're getting up 1 minute earlier than usual. Yeah. In China, they're sleeping 17 minutes longer per night during self-isolation, going to bed 12 minutes later and getting up 32 minutes later. So about the same as Americans. In Italy, about the same. In France is roughly the same, except French people get up 23 minutes and 27 seconds later than normal. And they go to bed about the same time, about a minute earlier. So that's, okay, there's all kinds of data here. Heart rate. Night heart rate anomalies have decreased by 43% in America. People are sleeping more soundly. Go figure. Every country has seen a decreased heart abnormalities. That's kind of crazy. So anyway, that just gives you an idea of how Americans stack up in quarantine, what people are doing, how they're not doing. Are people actually becoming more healthy in quarantine? It's great because that's really the only thing you have to work on. 888-250-2091. Before we jump into calls here, really quick, just a quick reminder. On Monday, we're on Monday the 4th of May. We are giving away free maintenance checkups at all Schrock locations. You do have to bring your computer in. We simply don't have the staff to do a pickup for the free maintenance check. We just can't do it because we're gonna be overwhelmed as it is. I can't send a guy out of the shop to go pick it up. But if you want to bring it over to the shop, you can obviously bring it into the service center, or we can do a contactless pickup in the parking lot, where we can come out to your car and pick it up from your car and check it in. You don't have to sign anything. We'll get you all taken care of that way. Obviously, if you want to come in on Sunday, the big event is Monday, May 4th. But if you want to come in today, Sunday, May 3rd instead, and beat the rush, we're open on May 3rd from noon until 5. You can come into any of the 3 service centers from noon to 5, and you can drop off the computer, and we'll get you in before the rush. We already have a lot of people who brought their computers in. We have no idea what's going to happen on Monday. If this is, I'm not even promising. I'm saying between 3 and 7 days on turnaround right now. And that's where it could get worse on Monday, depending how many we take in. So if you can go without your computer that long, go ahead and bring it in. We're happy to maintenance it for you. Also, for 1 day only or until they're sold out, we have 5 holiday special desktops and 5 holiday special laptops available for purchase at SchrockInnovations.com. That's SchrockInnovations.com. Click on Shop and Specials, and you can find all of the information there for those. 888-250-2091. Lee, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
I got an older CD that has pictures and some video on it that not playing on my computer.
Okay.
The disc has no damage to it. I'm afraid that it was when it was formatted, the format doesn't mesh with the newer computers. I acquired this CD back in '98.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So Lee, thank you for the call there. There's 2 reasons that can happen. Number one, the burner, the reader could be bad. Is it reading any other discs? The second thing is there are 2 ways you can burn a disk. You can burn the disk, use it like a flash drive where you can keep adding to it. And then the other way you can burn a disk is it's called finalized. It's a finalized disk that you can't add anything to. If you didn't finalize the disk in the old computer, it would have worked in the old computer just fine, but it will not read in the new computer. So if there is stuff on that disk that we need to get, if you still have access to the old computer, that's the easiest way to get it. If you don't, then we're going to have to bring it in for a data recovery in the shop, and we can certainly do that for you. Thank you very much for the call, Lee. We appreciate it. Got to take a quick break here, guys. When we come back, phone banks are loading up, so we're going to get some more calls going in. And I have a general question for you. Apple is going to start contact tracing with your iPhones, and Android's going to be doing it too. So don't get me wrong. This isn't an Apple bashing story, but they're going to start there. It's in beta right now, which means it's going to be released very soon. Are you okay with that? It's going to monitor all the phones around you and then keep track of who you've been around. And of course, it's fully anonymous, of course, but we could contact you if you're exposed or need to be quarantined. I don't know how this is going to work. So at any rate, I want to get your opinion on that as well. We'll tell you all of that story and your calls coming up next on Compute This.
Update all of your third-party apps on your computer with Secure Updater. It keeps all your apps running smoothly and helps block viruses. Download it for free today at secureupdater.com. External hard drives are handy. You can back up multiple computers to them or even use them to move lots of data from one computer to another. Computer users have been buying the same old external hard drives for years. While our computers have been getting faster, we still do backups that take hours or watch epic progress bars creep by to move files. Schrock wanted more for our customers, so our innovators created the fastest external hard drives on the planet. Schrock modular storage devices are up to 50% faster than Seagate or Western Digital externals and are modular in the truest sense of the word. We can create whatever size and speed of drive you need for all of your needs. And all modular storage devices come with a data restoration guarantee. If you use our drives for backing up and your computer's hard drive fails, we'll restore your backup to your repaired computer for free. Fast, simple, and flexible technology solutions from Schrock Innovations. It's what we do. Compute This Pro Tip 178. Those little life-saving surge strips are vital to your computer's health and should be used whenever possible, even for laptops. As computers get smaller and more powerful, they're also becoming more sensitive to dirty power, and your power is a lot dirtier than you might think. Even if you have a whole home surge protection, most power surges are generated within your own home. If you've ever vacuumed and seen the lights get dimmer and brighter, you created a surge. Surge protectors can only absorb so much energy measured in joules. When that capacity is exhausted, your surge protector becomes a glorified extension cord and needs to be replaced. You should always look for surge protectors that give audible alerts when they're no longer able to protect your equipment. Schrock recommends these because the lights on most strips are just power lights and they don't tell you when it's time to replace the unit. If in doubt, replace your surge protectors annually to keep your expensive TVs, computers, and other electronic equipment safe. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
All righty, folks. Final segment. Here we go. 888-250-2091. Welcome back into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. We have 3 service centers to help you out with your computers. Of course, we're going to be open on Sunday from noon to 5. Monday morning, we open at 10. We're doing free preventative maintenance checkups on Monday. As a Compute This listener, you can come in today and beat the rush, and I would encourage you to do that. All right, let's jump back into these phones here. Kathy, thanks for holding on the line there. We appreciate your patience. How can I help you on Compute This today? Oh, hold on just a second, Kathy. I don't have any audio on Kathy. I can't hear her at all. There we go, Kathy. Are you with us? Nope, no Kathy. I got no Kathy. Okay, Mark, are you there? Is anybody here? Can anybody hear me? All right.
Hello.
Hello, Mark. Welcome to the program.
Hello.
Can you hear me, Mark?
I can hear you.
All right. We have connection. Awesome. All right. Well, how can I help you on Compute This, Mark?
Well, I got my stimulus check.
Okay.
And unfortunately, the holiday special is still out of my range. So I'm looking at your 2 lower end laptops,
okay,
the Intrepid and Resolute.
Gotcha.
But I can't tell, reading the specs, are either of them touchscreen?
Neither of them are touchscreens. We don't carry a regular touchscreen model in stock. We can certainly order them. We just don't carry them in stock. Now, if you were picking between the 2 computers, I would encourage you to look at the Resolute. or excuse me, I misspoke. I'd encourage you to look at the Intrepid. The main reason is that the Resolute laptop is one of the few items that we sell at Schrock that has limited upgradability. We have to have a model that competes with the low-end models at all the other box stores. And when you get that low in the price point of a laptop, everything is chip on board. So the big thing with the Resolute, it's a fine computer and it would work just fine for somebody who's going to use it for very basic things. But it has 4 gigs of RAM, and that's all the memory it will ever have. There is no upgradability, and the memory is soldered to the motherboard. So if the memory ever fails, we can't replace it. So if you do decide to go with the Resolute, definitely pick up the extended warranty and keep that in force, because if anything goes wrong with that board, we're just going to replace the entire laptop. The Intrepid is fully upgradable. We can take it all the way up to 16 gigs of RAM. We can put in any kind of size of hard drive we want in there. It's a much more, you have a lot more options with the Intrepid, and it's a lot faster laptop as well for just about $100 more.
Okay, that's what I needed to know. Thank
All
you,
right.
sir.
Well, thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. And we got you in the drawing as well, Mark, for that $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. All right, let's try Kathy again here. Kathy, thanks for your patience. Apologize for the misfire there. How can I help you on Compute This?
Well, I brought my computer in for a minor repair Saturday around noon. This is in the pavilion.
Okay.
And they said it'd be a 48-hour turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fine. But now with this maintenance, am I going to be even further out than 48 hours because of the pre-maintenance thing that you're offering?
Well, they normally quote 24 hours, so they probably already pushed you out. Now, the Papillion Service Center has been turning and burning because I live in Papillion, and so that's where I start my day. So I go into the Papillion Service Center, and I was cracking the whip in there on Wednesday, like, anything that's on this bench, you need to get it out. And then Thursday, I came back in and I was like, all these new computers, we need to get these off the bench, get them built, get them done so we can get them to the service centers. There's flat spaces here. Why aren't you putting computers up on these flat spaces that are not benches? Well, Thor, because they're not benches. Like, get out of your box. We need to get these. So no, they're moving very fast. They have, in fact, I would be surprised if your computer wasn't on the bench right now, Kathy. But I will. One of the things that we're going to be doing is the maintenance checkups are important, but we know that customers have regular computer repair needs. We're setting aside a few bench spots to deal with needs that are non-maintenance related, so that we can get those done. Now, a lot of people are also saying though, hey, yeah, I brought it in for a simple thing, but while it's in there, can you do a maintenance check? And we're like, sure.
No, I didn't say that.
Well, yeah, you could have. You still could, and we're like, well, sure, we will. But, we're making sure that we can get everybody in and out as quick as possible. However, Monday is just going to be one of those days, and maybe even today, I don't know, that logistically, I suspect strongly we're going to spend the entire day checking people in. It's going to be one of those days where we can't get a lot done because we're just constantly dealing with inflow. And then once that stops, like on Tuesday, we can start cracking them back out the door again. If there's anybody,
I double check.
Oh, thank you for the call, Kathy. I appreciate it. And I also have you in the drawing. If there's anybody who's concerned about turnaround times, also keep in mind that we have an expedite service available. It's $50 extra, but you bypass anybody in line. You go straight onto the bench. We'll even pull somebody off the bench if they're already on the bench. Your computer goes up and we get you fixed and back done just as quickly as possible. We have had some people literally come in for the free maintenance checkup and pay for the expedite. It doesn't make a load of sense to me, but you know what? That guy needs his computer back fast. So we put him up on the bench first and we got him done because, you can get the maintenance checkups usually on sale for like half off, which is like $50 if you buy the certificate. So it's about the same as a certificate, I guess. So it worked for him, right? So we have that option available if that's something you want to do. All right. Thanks for holding on the line there, Blaine. How can I help you today on Compute This?
I'm calling about the backup that's built into Windows 10.
Yes, sir.
It looks to me like daily is the longest time you can have between backup. Is that correct?
I believe so. Let me pull mine up here real quick. Usually I set it every minutes because why not? There's 2 settings that we usually change when we look at a backup. So when we go into backup, we set it to, I set mine on, so you turn on, then you can click more options. Once you're in more options, you click on, mine is set to every 10 minutes because I don't want to have a situation where I've missed a file that I'm working on because there was a power interruption or something. Then the second area is more important. To keep my backup box needs to say until space is needed. So that way, otherwise your backup will fill up and it will stop backing up. So this way, what it tells the computer is you can delete the oldest backups room for the newest backups. So then I don't mind backing up every 10 minutes because, I'll just get rid of the old ones when I don't need them. So the longest you can go is daily. Correct.
And you have a start time, and then you have to pick which file. Does it ever do an image?
No, it does not. It's called a file history backup in Windows 10. So what it's doing is it's backing up every individual file on the computer. You can specifically, so it's up every file. I should be more cautious in how I say that. It backs up every file in your user folder. So your documents folder, your desktop, your pictures folder, your videos folder. It doesn't back up any folders. If you created a folder on the C drive, for example, and saved a bunch of important stuff there, you're not supposed to do that anymore. But some people still are doing that. If you do that, you have to add that folder manually to the backup list. Otherwise, it won't get up. And so when it does backups, it maintains a backup. It does the backup of the file. Then if you change file, it takes another backup of the file, which allows you over time to go back in time. So if you ever had a file open, and let's say you're working a Word document, and you finish up your Word document, and you send it to whoever needs it, but then you have to make another Word document that's really similar to the one you just made. So you might open up the old one and then revise it, and then you would do a save as to create a second Word document. But we've all done this. What if you accidentally just hit save? And now you've overwritten, you don't have the original document anymore because you just saved over it. Well, with a file history backup, you can go back in time and get that original file back and recover it. But there is no image. This is not designed to be a system by which if your hard drive dies, you restore a perfect image of how your computer looked at the time that it died. There is no, you manually going in and looking at the files is a nightmare. You can't actually look at the backup. There's no, the only thing to give you is the date of your last backup and the size of the last backup. Those are the only statistics you really receive, but everything, this is the same backup system that I use. It works really well. For the call, I really appreciate it, Blaine. Kevin, welcome to the program. How can I help you compute this today?
Yeah, I'm just on the bringing computers in. Do you need the power cords on a Mac laptop?
Great question. Yes, please bring your power cords in for laptops. Don't your power cords for desktops. If you have an all-in-one, please bring your power cord. If you have a laptop, please bring your power cord. Those are basically the same computers, are just configured differently. The reason is part of the maintenance checkup is we test your computer's power supply, and your power supply is that brick on your power cord. So we got to test that. We need your power cord. The other thing is it takes 8 hours to do, and we normally have 1 or 2 of each power cord. But if we have this many computers coming up, can't guarantee that we have enough power cords to go around just sitting around the shop.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. All righty, guys. Whew. Busy. So let me know how the audio is sounding here in the comments. If one of my listeners would just pop something in there and tell me if the audio, if it does, live for Schrock, and if it's not, I will do a recorded one. Today's winner, $25 Schrock and Debate certificate is Blaine. Congratulations, Blaine. You've got yourself $25. Out to you on Monday. Keep in mind, guys, Monday is going to be very busy in the service center. It's going to be free maintenance Monday. So if you want to drop your computer off on Sunday, bring it on in on Sunday. That would probably be a really good idea. Otherwise, we'll do it. All right, stay tuned. After Schrock coming up next, and we'll see you guys again next week for an edition of Compute This.
Fueled by Hy-Vee, home of deals and hundreds of price decline. This is Radio 1110 KFAB Omaha, an iHeart radio station.
I'm Pam Puso, Fox News. Warm protein and lines are getting longer.
30 Americans have filed claims. Governor begins of non-essential business, coronavirus fears, and U.S. Treasury data California, Connecticut, Texas, Massachusetts, Illinois are taking need for